What is happening, Tom?
Oh, just kicking it, in Portland, Oregon, in my house for the seventh day in a row. Just iced in here in Portland, Oregon, waiting for it's starting to melt. Tomorrow, I might venture outside, but been here, specifically this desk area, a lot for the last week.
There's like 35 sharpening videos pinned to the top of the group.
That's it. That's all.
There's a lot.
There's a few.
I'm trying to pin it. Pin it. Pinned to featured. There we go.
It's been. I'm glad I have sharpening to keep me busy. I'm glad I had some knives come in because the mail has been real spotty the last week. I have my informed delivery has not been very accurate. So some
You're
stuff
like,
came
informed
in.
my ass.
Some stuff came like today. There's supposed to be like 6 packages. Like 2 came today.
Yeah.
Everything's catching up. All my Amazon orders got delayed. Emails sent to me, and the city is. It wasn't like that cold. It was fucking cold. It was like 20, but everything was just ice, and it rained, and it just ice on ice, and then it rained, and then it just built up. So large parts of the city are still just a sheet of ice in the neighborhoods.
I saw a video of a power line arcing in somebody's backyard over there in Portland. Everybody was acting like they'd never seen it before. Pretty funny. It's pretty normal around these parts. Either the ice brings it down or a thunderstorm does.
My parents, who live 2 hours south in Eugene got hit harder, but it's better down there already because it got warm. But they won't have power for another week.
Yeah.
That town got wiped out.
So last weekend I was in Fort Myers, Florida, and they got hit by a Cat 5 hurricane in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Many people dead. Most of the buildings were damaged. 15-foot storm surge hit Sanibel Island and basically just washed right over top of the island itself. It was pretty bad. Driving around the area, you could just tell it had been almost a year and a half, 2 years, and it was still a complete mess. Everything is normally green is brown because the salt water came in and killed a lot of the vegetation and then left behind a bunch of sand and salt. They were finding boat parts in forests and swamps for months and months. It's pretty scary. Went to Fort Myers Beach, and they had resurrected some of the beach. And by resurrected, I mean they bring a barge in and they scoop the sand off the bottom of the ocean. And they blast it up on the shore, and then they comb it out and pull all the garbage out of it. But my daughter kept bringing me handfuls of pieces of steel that were all rusted. She's just plucking it out of the sand. She's like, "Dad, here's a piece of metal." And I was like, "Man, we can't be out here in bare feet. This is a bad idea." Thankfully, it was cold enough she didn't go swimming, so
nice.
Didn't have to worry about that.
So it wasn't even that hot. This is January. I don't know how high it gets in Florida in January.
It can be in the 60s or it can be in the 90s, depending on their own weather patterns. But it was kind of chilly while we were there. But it was 70 degrees warmer than home. So that's not so bad.
That's a good trade.
The worst part of the trip, Tom, in addition to coming home to my daughter catching the flu, I lost my Koenig hat. I left it in the rental car.
I will say, though, the way you just said that is the sentence that I feel good. Because I thought you were going to say I lost my Koenig.
No.
And I got a mini panic attack as soon as the word Koenig came. Okay. There you go.
No.
Hats can be replaced. Hats can be replaced.
Yeah, but the shipping's cheaper on the knife than the hat.
That's really true.
I love Koenig, and I love their hats. And $35 for a hat, I'm willing to pay it. But the $20 shipping for the hat is hard. And I understand. It's okay.
They need to use pirate ship is what they need to do over there.
Pirate ship. The show is brought to you by pirateship.com. At pirateship.com, you can save up to 89% on your shipping needs. You can ship with UPS. You can ship with U.S. Postal Service. And the best part, Tom, is what? What's the best part about Pirate Ship?
It's free.
It is free.
It's a free service.
It's free. This is FFIB and it's FREE. It doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost us anything. And I know what you're saying is, Jason, how do you ship something with a third-party service for less than the post office, you say?
You can save up to 89% on your postage, Tom, including international shipping. I happen to know that if you're going to be shipping a box to Central Europe and you'd like to save some money on that, you can ship it with UPS and you're going to get over 75% off your shipping. A $250 shipment is going to be less than $50. All you have to do is just go to pirateship.com, sign in, create an account, and then you can print your postage at home and you don't have to go to the post office. No offense, Brian Roden. I know you're watching. We love you. We love your post office. But sometimes waiting in line, less than fun. Why go to the post office when you can just print it home at pirateship.com?
Exactly. Brian, he understands. He's out delivering mail. He comes to us.
You know, the funny thing is he still gets paid because when you're buying the postage is U.S. Postal Service postage. So they still get paid. They still get theirs. But who wants to wait in line?
And even if you're shipping something, I don't know, down to the other side of your town, if you wanted to use USPS priority, it's like it's at least 20% off at a minimum, just for like simple shit.
Yep. Anyway, we're not really brought to you by them. We do not get paid by Pirate Ship, but it's fun to do stunt ads because we like podcasts.
And today I did have about a 10-minute conversation with somebody about Pirate Ship, and then I broke their mind. I go, you know what? You can get free boxes from the post office. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, free boxes delivered to your door for free from USPS.com.
You know, we haven't shown people how to do that in a while. We should probably do that right now because
let's do that.
All these people just want to argue with us and they want to do it the hard way. And they keep coming up with reasons why everything's impossible and can't be done. And they're just full of crap.
But Jason, what if I don't own a printer?
If you don't own a printer, I would tell you to you're 90% likely to live within 10 miles of a Walmart. So drive yourself down to Walmart and buy yourself a printer.
Or just print it at work.
Sure.
Do either that. That's like not a valid excuse for me anymore when I realized that these people have jobs. I had a printer. I used to not have to. Mine used to be a pain in the ass. I used to print stuff at work all the time.
I mean, it's just not that hard. So, fellas, if you go to USPS.com and you sign in, see where it says, "Hi, Jason, I've already signed in." All I have to do is go over here to the shop, and I go to shipping supplies. Check it out. Now, over here on the side, there's filters. I'm going to filter by priority mail because, gosh darn it, that's usually how I ship stuff. Now, I come down here and look at this. I've got Tyvek envelopes. Those are the waterproof, tear-proof envelopes that you can slide a box into. Priority mail padded envelopes. Padded envelopes are lovely because if you have, I don't know, a Spyderco box and you want to make sure it's safe, all you got to do is roll it up in one of these and stuff it in a box, and you don't have to tape the envelope to the inside of the box like Tom and I don't like.
So here's a Tyvek envelope. I just want to demonstrate some scale. When it says envelope, it's not talking about a fucking card envelope you send your grandma. It's huge. It's a big Tyvek envelope that when packed with other boxes inside of it, even with priority small flat rate boxes, you can ship like 8 knives for $8 in this Tyvek envelope. Anything you can fit in here.
So the way that you ship this, guys, is you choose priority mail, and it'll say enter dimensions, and you type in 15 by 11 and 5/8, and you ship it. And if you fold the envelope in half around a small box, then it's not 15 by 11 and 5/8 anymore.
You don't have to put the dimensions in when there's just a drop down. You just click envelope, and it just knows what the dimensions are. And then you just wrap it up. If you have your own envelope, you have to put the dimensions in.
Here we have small flat rate boxes. If you use the regular small flat rate box, it'll hold 2 knives. There is a different flat rate box, Tom, that will hold 4 knives. It's this one. It's called the 1096L.
So I've always wondered, now how do you check out on pirate ship with that size box?
I slide it into one of the Tyvek envelopes, and I use the envelope option, and I type in the dimensions of the envelope.
There you go. I'm going to have to order some of those. 1096Ls.
This box will hold 4 Spyderco boxes comfortably, and candy and flight tags. By the way, Tom, you can slide 2 of these 1096L boxes into one Tyvek envelope if you stack them.
I do
You know what
like
that
that.
does? That means you can ship about 8 or 9 knives in one envelope for $8.
In a waterproof, very difficult to tamper with package.
So there's something else I want to show you guys that's a really useful thing to have. You print your envelope, you print your package, you print your postage at home. Now you have a piece of paper and you have to attach it to your package, and you want to do it in a way that you don't have to tape it and waste a lot of tape, gluing the label down. Well, they actually have a window sticker that you can put on the package that allows you to show it off without having to tape that label down. Let me see if I can find it.
Never been bold enough to try this yet. I have to see.
They're super sticky. They don't fall off. Of course, now I can't find it. What are they called? I should know the part number by now because I order them all the time. Let's go with label pouch. So that's a customs declaration pouch. That's not what we want.
How does Tom affix the label? I'm lazy and I don't want to buy a thermal label printer. So that printer that's right there in the background is just a normal Wi-Fi printer. And I use Pirate Ship, and I can print from anywhere in my house from my laptop. And then I just do it the getaway, and I cut out the label. And part of the way I tape up a box involves putting a label on it. So I just kind of do it that way. That's for flat rate.
Now, sometimes you take that box and you put it in the envelope, and then you close it, and then you have to stick the postage on after the fact, and you're trying to figure out how you can tape a piece of paper to the outside of a Tyvek envelope after you've already packed it. This is the answer. It's right here, Tom. You just pick one of these. You fold your label in half, and you stuff it inside the little envelope here, and you stick it to the package. Okay. And look at the price. Check out the price. They're free.
$0. What? It's free.
Yeah.
Jason, you want to see one of my favorite things on here? If
What's
you went back to supplies, and the first item on there is the padded one. So I buy those. They come in packs of 10. I buy them usually about 6 at a time. So I get them sent to me in this size box. This is how many of them at a time I buy. I buy 100 box. This is, you can put this on the outside of a box, or you can just cut it up into shreds and pack stuff with it. But the way I use this primarily is every box that goes out for me, if you send me a Spyderco, and it's in a Spyderco box, I don't want to just dump it in a small flat rate box and have it jiggling around. I need something to pack it with. So instead of using this as shreds, I just put it inside the mail bag, seal this, fold this up, put it inside a small flat rate box. That way you got added layer protection, so you can't cut through the outside of a box and pull something out, and you're bubble mailed for free.
Yep. I should probably mention right now that it's a crime to use these free shipping supplies for anything but U.S. Postal Service shipments. So do with that what you will. But yeah, the account's free, and then the packing supplies don't have to cost you anything.
What would happen if I tried to ship something that said USPS on it with UPS?
UPS doesn't care. They don't care. As long as the label works, they don't care. But if I were you, I don't think I would. I wouldn't create a potential for an issue, because believe it or not, it happens all the time that people drop off UPS packages with US Postal and vice versa. So they have a daily courier that just goes back and forth to drop off the oops packages. And
Oh
I would
yeah,
hate to put the wrong label on a package and then have them accidentally send it back to the wrong place. Now it takes an extra day or two to ship it.
yeah.
I think I'd rather use a plain box if I'm shipping UPS.
I don't use UPS because UPS for me living in Oregon is the slowest service. Not only is it the slowest, it gets to me the latest in the day, so I have the longest day of anticipation waiting for my ship to come. It usually comes like 8 o'clock at night. So I don't know. USPS has been great for me. I get my supplies from there. It's
If I wanted
free.
to ship $20,000 worth of knives, I would not use U.S. Postal Service. No offense, Brian.
True.
I would use UPS. UPS is how very expensive businesses ship their very expensive inventory. So if you're buying guitars or watches or computer systems or all that other crap, your merchants are using UPS and FedEx. They're not using postal. Can you assume pirate ship gives you the tracking number? Yeah, man. Not only does it give you the tracking number, but it gives you a map and it shows you where it's going. And it also allows you to type in the address of the person that you're sending it to so that they get updates as well. Everybody gets notifications. The notifications don't start until the package is moving. So you don't get that false alarm notification and then it sits for 4 days.
The nice thing also is it's not just that it gives you a tracking number, but it gives you one convenient spot to like. It doesn't have any addresses, so I'll share this since there's no addresses on it. So it gives you, I can go view details on all these shipments, and there's a tracking number there. I can just click on it and track. And I can see like this one got delivered today. And like this one, I had to do a refund. So I typed something wrong. So I had to do a refund, and now it's in transit. So it's a nice place to keep everything. So you're not searching around for tracking numbers. If you do everything in there, you can control it all from there.
Believe it or not, we've talked about this 30 or 40 times. It just comes up a lot. Great question, Dan Hawkins. How do they deal with insurance claims? They deal with it. They self-insure the packages. That means you don't have to fight with the post office or UPS to prove that you shipped what you claim you shipped, and you don't have to fight with them to prove that it was packed properly. You don't have to fight with them about all the other things that come up when you're trying to file a dispute with our federal government and try to get money back from them. They don't like that. They're bad at that. You could say that they're not customer service friendly, but Pirate Ship is. Pirate Ship self-insures, so that means they pay you directly.
And they insure small flat rate boxes a default of $100 instead of if you get it from USPS, it's only $50 of insurance included for free.
That doesn't work because the inside is logoed. Unfortunately. I do really, really like the DHL boxes, though. DHL makes a badass box that's the perfect size that actually slides into a Tyvek envelope or into a UPS envelope, but it holds like just the right amount of stuff. It's like 5x5x9. It's a really nice size box.
DHL is the weirdest shipping service to me. I don't even know how you ship something via DHL, but I get things usually internationally. They're always DHL.
If you can get their boxes, I recommend it, but I don't recommend using them as a shipper because they don't have much of a presence in the US. They're huge in Europe. They're big in Asia. They're tiny in the US. I have a label maker. So I have a thermal label printer that makes labels. And these are expensive.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. Peel it off, stick it to the thing. It's pretty awesome. They're expensive. I bought it in 2021 with the coin project when we were shipping coins. And I'm not disappointed that I bought it. I am disappointed that I didn't spring for the Wi-Fi version I got the hardwired version, so it's super annoying to be downstairs packing shipments, and then I have to walk upstairs and plug my laptop into the printer in order to print with it. So that part's annoying.
That's the reason I haven't got one, because I'd have to go for a Wi-Fi one if I got one.
If you get one, go with Wi-Fi. Definitely. Yeah. I grew up with my UPS driver. So if I have a package that's been shipped with UPS, he gives it to me when we see each other in town when I'm on my mail route and he's out delivering. Lucky. The main reason Tom and I evangelize about this is the guys that tell you stupid shit like, I'm on my way to the post office, let's make a deal. That's annoying. Or people that insist on having a picture of the receipt from the counter at the post office. I'm never going to do that for you. If you need that from me to buy a knife for me, just know now that I'm not going to do that. That's a lot of work. I'm just going to print the label and I'm going to put it in my mailbox outside my house because my mailman comes every day. So all I have to do is put it in the box and I flip the flag up and then they know there's mail and they come and pick it up. Or you don't have to flip the flag up because when they come and they put the mail in the mailbox, they'll find it and they'll just take it. So we're going to do a fundraiser soon for Tom so that he can have a new mailbox. He's got some sort of janky ghetto box on his house, so we're going to fix it.
It looks like we put a paper in. That's about all I got. So I always have to go to the post office to drop stuff off. Granted, I feel much more comfortable taking packages of not mine to the post office to drop off. So I just usually wait. I go there like 2 or 3 times a week and just drop off stuff. But when you at least do it at home and you can print and send someone the tracking number, that buys you time that they know you're probably not going to scam them, because why would a scammer run a printing label? You just have to get to the post office. So it buys you a little bit of time. The people know you're legit.
That's right. I want to do a shout out to AWT. So Applied Weapons Technologies. You guys have heard of AWT by now. If you own a lightweight knife, you've probably considered going with some scales for your lightweight.
There is no lightweight knife. There's none left. They've all been converted.
They've all been converted. It's quite possible.
Yeah.
So guys, a friend of mine bought an AWT Para 3 lightweight. And the problem is when it came, it had a significant amount of detent lash in it. Now, the guy bought it secondhand, and he lives in Serbia. Asked me to ship it to him. I told him I would, but when I got the knife, the scales were garbage. There was some detent lash in there. So I contacted AWT, and I said, is there anything you can do to fix these? Because the detent lash is a problem. And the guy said, you know, there were about 5% of the scales that we made at the beginning that had this problem. But we figured out what the issue was and we engineered a solution. And since then, we haven't had the issue. He goes, how old is it? So I showed him and he knew how old it was. And he said, well, we fixed it since then. I'll send you a new set. And I said, do you want the old ones back? How much is it? And he said, don't worry about it. So the new set has a standoff here that pins the lock bar. So the lock bar sits, and then it goes up and down. But having this extra pin is necessary so that the lock bar doesn't move up and down.
Oh, okay.
So revised scales, free of charge, because AWT rocks, and they know that having a marginal product out on the market is not a good business model. So I was very happy about that.
That's
you know
awesome.
You know what else he said, Tom?
What?
You were in the chat. He said, I don't care that you're an admin of a Spyderco group. I would have taken care of anybody for the same problem.
There you go.
So it wasn't a favor thing. This was just good customer service. So
that's, and I will say that that's true, because when you mentioned those scales to me, I knew what the problem was, because I've seen it before in the group, and they also took care of that person.
I still have all my Native 5 and Para 3 lightweight knives. Apparently, I'm the only one that still likes FRN. I'll tell you, Dan, I love a Para 3 lightweight, and I leave it as is. My Mannix lightweights stay as is. I think some things they do in lightweight are really, really good.
Mannix lightweights are good. You know what's going to be a really popular lightweight now? The Mannix with the Magna Cut blade, the Salt with the yellow scales. They're going to be everywhere if they ever stay in stock.
Everybody's reblading that one right now.
Yep.
Walter Calico, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the knife joker is money. That knife looks so good. Turned on.
Turned on to
Yeah.
minty chapstick.
Suck it, Brad Caldwell.
Hot chapstick talk.
Now I want some. Surely I have some on my desk. I have like a dozen tubes of it, Tom, and it's all over the place because I always want some close.
Is it mentholated or just minty, like toothpaste?
Spearmint.
Spearminty.
I can't find it, Matthew Blair. Oh well. That's right. Ooh, Christian likes the FRN Native 5. Good knife. Good knife. Why does it cost so much?
FRN Native 5, it does not cost so much. It's an anomaly in the pricing
Oh,
structure.
you're right. Yep.
It's because the G10 one costs too much and the FRN one doesn't cost enough considering it's the same blade.
Yep.
Because you could buy like an S90V fluted CF native is $260. But like the teal S90V native was only $103. So it was literally half as much money. So that seems like one is way overpriced. But if you were going to buy custom scales to put on that lightweight one, I guess they'd probably cost $130. I don't know. I feel like the FRN native's a little underpriced for how much the blade cost to make if they put that blade on high-end knives too. I don't know. They put that S90V native blade. There's like at one point, I think I owned 6 S90V natives that were different from each other. They use that blade a lot.
Yep. Very interesting article came out about CPM 15V. Sean Houston shared it, and it's brand new, and it's something that I need to post to the group so you guys can check it out if I can find it. There it is. It's from the scienceofsharp.com. Let me pull it up. Maybe we can look at it together. Check this out, Tom. Carbides in 15V. So as you guys know, knife steel is made of a variety of elements. We have iron, carbon, vanadium, molybdenum, chromium. And when they bake the steel, those little particles form in the steel when they form something called carbides. So the carbides are what make the iron superior, make the steel superior to iron. If it was just iron by itself, it wouldn't make a very good knife. It's the carbides that make it stronger. So this is really cool. Check this out. This is an image of the edge on the factory edge of a 15V Manix. Isn't that crazy looking?
Looks like icicles melting or wax on a candle.
Yep.
Doesn't look very smooth to me.
This is what the edge looks like after some sisal rope cuts. You see the chips?
Yeah.
Those little chips form in the edge of any knife as you use it. Now, the chips will form faster or slower depending on a variety of factors. Some would call this serrated, but it actually just makes the knife cut in consistently. That's a pretty big chunk right there. Look at this. He's actually measuring it.
That's a chip.
Yep. Now, inside the chip, you can actually make out where the carbides are, Tom. See that?
Oh, weird.
So those little blobs are carbides in the steel matrix. Now, what you want is you want the carbides to be very, very small. The smaller they are, the more homogeneous they are. The more homogeneous they are, the stronger they are. And I'll show you why in a second. If we scroll down a little bit further, I'm going to blow past some of this to get to the point I'm trying to get to. Where is it? Here we go. Do you see the voids in the carbide?
Yeah.
And do you see the cracks around the carbide?
Yeah.
That's a problem because what's happening is the carbide are different hardnesses from the iron. So you end up with a cracked carbide cluster, it says. So when we talk about knife steels being brittle, this is the brittle part. Also, we hear about tear out of carbides.
Yeah.
This is exactly what a tear out of a carbide is going to look like. This little blob right here has cracks in it and around it. So that could conceivably pull out or fall out.
What is this photograph with to show the carbides?
I don't understand your question.
Like, what did he use to take this photo, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I'm not sure. It could be electron microscope, whatever an SEM is. I'm guessing electron microscope. So this paper is obviously more scientific than I am, and it obviously goes much deeper into the topic than most of us care to. But if you're a hyper nerd about steel, there's a lot here. He's really getting deep into what makes the edge do what the edge does. Check that out, Tom. See we have a chip in the steel, and then that is what? What's that little curl there?
Rolled edge, burr.
It's a burr. That's a rolled edge. Yep. The rolled edge is much larger than just as a sharpened or refined burr. So that's a pretty bad rolled edge. The high hardness matrix combined with a large concentration of 1 to 2 micron vanadium carbides that were well dispersed, and that results in a steel that can take and maintain a reasonably thin edge and a refined edge with moderate use. As with other high carbide steels, I see little evidence of abrasive wear contributing to edge deterioration, suggesting that traditional CATRA testing may not be particularly informative for this class of steel. Anecdotally, it was a pleasure using this knife over the past year.
Nice.
So maybe when we have Sean on, he can explain to us about why CATRA testing is not informative. What is it about the steel that makes it immune to CATRA?
This thing HRC tested at 65, right? Is that what I read? Or is that what Sean said?
I believe so. Pretty interesting. The CATRA test, in case you didn't know, is the scientific tool used to determine edge retention by Laren Thomas and knife steel nerds and many other types of metallurgists. So the CATRA testing is, I don't know, it's the common language we use to compare them all. If this scientist is saying that it's not very good for these high carbide steels, I'd like to know more about that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Considering Laren just did a giant test on all of them. I got an interesting knife on my desk that I've put off doing for about a week, and I got to tackle probably next. Look at this guy. It's a Ulize, I believe. But its tip is one side, the grind goes to 0. The other side, the grind gets really big at the tip and it's rounded. So
yeah,
I gotta repoint this thing. So it's been I'm putting it off, but it's DG10, so it might not be that hard. It's an interesting knife. This is one that I'd never seen before. A Spyderco I'd never handled.
I bet it cuts great.
It's long. It's a long blade. It's 4-incher.
Yeah.
What other fun knives? I had a bunch of stuff come in. I just sent out a ton of things back to their owners, unfortunately. But one that came in.
Hey, Tom, before you show us, let me answer a question real quick.
Yeah.
So Matthew Blair, with your full liner Crucarda, you have to be careful what scales you order. Most scales out there are not designed for that knife. And if you buy them, you're going to find that they don't fit. You're going to have to make sure you go with somebody that knows how to make a full liner scale. Different critter.
There it is. I got a line steel in. And I saw someone asking me about this. They wanted me to sharpen, get my opinion on it, because Spyderco is coming out with the Spy Moto, which is made by Lion Steel. So this one, I don't know the model number, so you have to forgive me. I just know that it's M390 carbon fiber titanium flipper. I put a mirror edge on it. It's a pretty steep edge. It's like 26 degrees. So that was kind of surprising. Got a deep carry clip. Titanium's well milled, got a lot of detail to it.
Looks like very it has light. A hole.
Very light. Got that. It's just a nice knife. It's one I'd never handled a Lion Steel. This is the first one that's come in. It was really one of those blades where whoever designed the blade was not thinking about that someone has to resharpen it. One of those where like the ricasso is like a millimeter away from the end of your edge, so you have to like tape everything up and be very careful. Yeah, it was fun.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Matthew Blair's got it down. He knows how to modify a scale.
Nice. I guess that is true. If you did have, you just have to take the fact that they're nested out. You just have to cut them down.
$41 degrees, Tom, in metric.
It was hot, right?
It's hot. Yeah. It's like 110 degrees. Yeah. Pretty warm down there.
It is summertime, I guess.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense because it's just Christmas. How can it be summer and Christmas at the same time of year? I don't know.
I'm afraid it is. So I have a coworker that sent me a message the other day, said that he had a family member pass away, and the guy left behind just piles of knives. Piles and piles of knives. He's got display cases and all kinds of stuff, and he wanted to know, like, are they worth anything? Are they not worth anything? And I said, tell me what he has. And he goes, well, he's got a glass case with a flip top lid, like an old record player, and it's got drawers under it and a display area. And I said, okay, I know what that is. And he said, yeah, he's got all kinds of knives. He's got little knives and big knives and folder knives. He's got throwing stars, and he's got this big long stick with a ball in the end that has stuff on it. And I said, does he have broadswords? He's like, oh yeah, he's got broadswords. I was like, this guy's a savage. So I wish I'd known him. So he would have fit right in this group. I bet he had a bunch of cold steel.
Yeah.
Or if he didn't, he wanted it. So
he wanted to be
right.
Let's face Len Thompson.
So he sent me some pictures, and he had a bunch of knucks. They were the 1918 brass knuckles, which I think are actually worth something. There were some microtacks and some other stuff, some things I'd never seen before. But yeah, maybe I'll turn him into a knife fan.
There you go.
J.H. Cameron's got something good to talk about here.
Yeah, it was all sold out by the time I went and looked at it today.
They look really good.
Yeah, dude, really, really good.
I want a bacon knife. He does bacon so well. Have you seen one in person?
No. Probably Blade Show, actually. I don't remember it, though.
His bacon Damascus knives are just money. They're so good. Bacon's almost just like not good enough to describe it. They look amazing.
Oh, pre-orders Thursday. I went to the website and they all said sold out. No, it went live today. It was on. He posted it.
Yeah, it's listed today. They're not for sale until the 25th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went and clicked on the website 4 hours after he said it was up, and I was like, "Oh, it's sold out." Okay, that makes sense. Well, that's good to know.
Somebody tag Joseph Vero. We're going to talk about it here.
He's asleep.
This knife is so good looking. I've been told that when you put the lock bar relief inside the knife versus outside, it affects the usability of it, and that the lock bar can bow over time. I'm going to say that's garbage, and it looks better. Look how good that looks, Tom.
Yeah. Can you click on it and go? Yeah, go to the product page.
The blade, by the way, is 3.78 inches, so it's a
It's
big
only
boy.
$295 starting price.
$295. Internal milling has been done to reduce weight. It's only 4 ounces.
That's pretty light. That's like barely more than a PM2. And that's a bigger knife than a PM2.
So you got your choice of, whoa, you can do Chad Nichols Timascus, zirconium, or titanium hardware. You can do bacon, DLC, stonewash, hand satin, or belt satin on the blade. 3.78 inches long.
You gonna do this?
M390 hollow grind, Tom.
My New Year's resolution was to not buy a knife until I turn 40. Crap.
Well, you won't have it till you're 40.
It's true. True.
That's a good looking knife.
It is. It looks a lot like his, what's it called? We talked about last time, his full size integral one.
It does.
He did a comparison video though, like holding them next to each other to address that criticism, and they are quite a bit different. But it's not a bad thing. It's a good looking shape in general. The biggest thing on this one, besides being awesome, is it's made by Riot. It's not made by Best Tech. So this will be the first Riot made Vero. Nothing against Best Tech quality, because I love my Veros, but I'm very interested to see what Riot does with Joseph's design, because they make top-notch knives.
You notice, Tom, it only has one frame screw on the presentation side and a pivot screw.
Oh, wow.
And then on the other side of the knife, we have one frame screw. We have one lock bar insert screw, one pivot screw.
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want a DLC handle and bacon blade. That's what I want.
There's a ton of different options on that drop-down menu.
Yep.
So there is, let's see, there's 12 different combos he's selling. Blade and hardware options.
Looks good in DLC. Look at that thing.
Yeah. And this is DLC. It's not use.
It's not blackwash.
Yeah, that's it.
The Zerk looks good, or the Timascus looks good on there. Look at that.
There you go. That's the one you want. Oh, you want the DLC handle though.
Look how cool it is.
Yeah. I kind of like that one. That's a really expensive one though.
So this is titanium hardware, and that is Zerk hardware. There's Timascus. I don't think I'd do Timascus with the bacon.
No, it's too busy.
It's fine.
It
it's
doesn't.
just a lot.
Doesn't go with the lines. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the different kind of pattern.
I agree.
Although Timascus with the belt satin would look pretty good. Oh, that one's getting up there in cost a little bit.
Yeah. The belt satin grind lines are beautiful.
I like his hand satin. I like his belt satin. I like his stonewash.
January 25th is the pre-order start. Rooting for Joseph and Michelle. Couldn't be better people.
The whole Vero family is helping out.
Did you see what he posted the other day in his group? He said, I miss Chet Tugman.
Yes. I miss Chet Tugman too. Someone tag Tyler Parkinson in the comments. That will
It's
be
time for Chet Tugman to come back. We need him now more than ever. It's election season, Tom.
Chet Tugman is officially invited to be a guest on FFIB.
Foot satin. Who doesn't?
I've seen those videos before.
Price of the bacon. Sorry, I missed the bacon price. It looks like bacon, just bacon is $6.10. If you go bacon with Zerk, it's going to be more.
That's a spinning knife.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's all those accessories. For $2.95 for that knife, though, for the base version is a really good deal. I would say, based on every Vero I've ever handled, I would say that's a great deal.
I happen to own Dan Tan's Integral. Ooh. This was his at one point. Now it's mine.
It's the Isotope, right?
Yes. It's a big chonker. This one has Zerk, or not Zerk, Timascus here. Timascus here. Now I can't open it. There we go.
Yeah.
Big knife. If you guys don't have big hands, this is going to be a weird one.
Vero does big knives good. Like Spyderco does small knives good. Vero does big knives very well.
I agree. You only live once, Paula. Only live once. Almost finally got my first synapse, but had to spend the money on kidney stone surgery for my daughter. Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
Sounds awful. As a kid to go through that.
Saw a news story about somebody that had to have kidney stone surgery. He had like 150 kidney stones, Tom, because they lived on soda.
I don't live on soda. This is sparkling water.
You know a guy that used to. Look at you drinking water.
I know him.
Respectfully, you're a total knucklehead sometimes. Remember the podcast where you came on, you're like, hey, you know what I've been doing? I've been drinking a lot of water. You ever notice like water's really good? I was like, what's wrong with you?
Sometimes water just
you started delivering. You delivered a soliloquy about the deliciousness of water. I was like, yeah, we all know that.
I've been living off coffee lately, to be totally honest about my main source of liquid intake is probably just a couple cups of coffee a day.
Oh no, she had 2 procedures. Oh, I'm sorry.
The one thing I think that inflation hit harder than anything, which is probably good for my health, is the soda aisle with the non Henry Weinhards. But the Coca-Cola, why is a 12-pack of Coca-Cola $9.49 plus deposit? It didn't used to be that ever. You can always get them cheaper at the store I shop at, but it's like buy 4, get 3 free or weird deals where I don't want to buy that much soda. I do, but I don't let myself. But I'm a hound for a good deal, so it's got me to not drink soda though. Inflation.
I got a buddy that's addicted to Mountain Dew. He drinks 3 or 4 a day.
The nectar.
The nectar. Oh, for my bourbon fans out there, last weekend, my cousin's husband and I killed a bottle of Jack Daniels over the weekend. And I haven't had Jack Daniels since I was in my 20s. And I think I owe Hope Tucker an apology because that's like her favorite. And I've been teasing her about Jack Daniels. I'm like, ooh. Turns out, not so bad.
I remember liking Jack Daniels. It was like one of the few brands that has some flavor. It's got its own thing to it.
I mean, it's not fancy, but it gets the job done.
It's identifiable taste, I guess. It tastes like Jack Daniels tastes like. It's been a long time since I've had any of that though.
It was good. So don't have to go fancy, right? Baja Blast. I had my first Baja Blast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Is it?
It was delicious. Yeah.
Do you want to make some at home?
No, I went to Taco Bell and I got Baja Blast.
No, I'm saying, do you want to make some at home? If it was that delicious, you can make it at home on your own. You just need some Powerade. Or you can go Taco Bell, Mr. Health Nut over there.
If you're gonna have Baja Blast, you probably can't care about whether it's healthy or not.
I got one pretty recently. I had one. Camden loved it. He's been asking me to go back to Taco Bell since then.
It's not bourbon. My favorite part of Taco Bell, by the way, is you got to go to the Taco Bell that has the build your own menu where you order it yourself on the touchpad.
Oh, okay.
You don't talk to the kid behind the counter. The kid with the hair, he's got his hair hanging in his face. So he's looking at you like this, and he's got his bangs, like over his eyes. You don't have to talk to him.
He's in a 2006 emo band kind of thing.
You just know he's never washed his hands, but he's there, and you're at Taco Bell, and these are the acceptable risks that you take when you go to Taco Bell. Well, instead of talking to him, you go to the kiosk and you type in your order. And it's wonderful because you can build your own crap. So you can add those jalapenos. You can take out
I'll have one hard taco, add a soft taco covered with beans on the outside of it. Make my own damn double-decker taco.
Yes, you can.
Ooh, I like that.
I did
I went there only once.
I did like a beef burrito, and I took the beef out and I changed it to chicken, and I added jalapenos and I added chipotle sauce or something like that. Wow. And I added beans, and all of a sudden it made like a half decent burrito.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did they ask you, were you offered hot sauces? I guess it's on a menu. They don't offer them to you. Does it ask what kind of hot sauce you want? Medium, mild, or fire?
In the burrito or in the packets?
Packets.
Well, there's little containers next to the counter that have those. You just take what you want.
There you go. I always order from the drive-thru. They're
running out of
if I want sauce.
They're running out of fire superlatives though, because they've got mild, medium, hot, and then there's like Caliente, Inferno, Dragon's Taint, Lava of the Damned, Seventh Circle. Like there's all these other names that they have, and they're running out of things to call it hot.
There is a guy I just watched on TikTok today, and the name of his account's like Capsaicin King or something like that. It's all about hot stuff. And
Chili Claus is the current hero. You know, want to watch anything with Chili Claus?
Chili Claus, okay. Yeah. Well, this guy got in nasal napalm, which was the ultimate horseradish sauce, and he opened it up. And I'm like, I could handle horseradish. People were genuinely concerned for him in the comment section. He really had a hard time with it.
Do you think he had a harder time than the guy that bong ripped the dried up ghost peppers?
That would kill you. Not in you would die, right?
I would think I would think it would be the same as just getting a face full of bear spray.
Yeah, I guess you do breathe that shit in, but I don't.
You've seen it, right? The old dude?
No, I don't.
He has a water bong and he rips some dried up he has dried up ghost peppers. He grinds it up and he sticks it in a bong and shoots and hits it. And he coughs for like 11 minutes. It's a good video.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll show it next week. I wonder if he's dead. He's got to be dead, right?
He's got to be dead. That's insane.
It's like a
But
Thompson.
like, what happens? Like, I guess capsaicin only like really affects like your eyes, your nose, your mouth, right? It doesn't. Once it goes into your stomach, it's like safe, right? Once it goes
It
into your
affects your mucous
lungs,
membranes, really.
there's nothing. I guess your lungs are quite the mucous membrane.
Yeah, he smokes it. Oh, here's a guy that smokes a Carolina Reaper. Vaping a Carolina Reaper.
Oh, vaping, my favorite. I am so glad that I quit nicotine before vaping became so readily accessible because I would have had a big problem with that.
You would never have quit.
No.
I have a friend that vapes 2 like gigantic things. It's like as big as a stapler. He's got 2. And he loads one with orange and one with vanilla. So he's doing creamsicles and he puts both nozzles in his mouth at the same time. He tried to quit and he became suicidal from depression, from the withdrawal from the nicotine. So his doctor had to give him shots and a patch and all kinds of stuff, and he gave up.
Jesus.
He gave up. He ended up going back to it.
Wow.
I'm sending you the Carolina Reaper guy.
I don't know if you can buy. I know at least in some of the suburbs around here, they've like outlawed vape liquid, like stores that sell it.
That's one product that needs to be regulated. You can't just trust that it's safe. Like you're putting it in your lungs. Not a great place to experiment.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Uncle Buck's program for quitting smoking? Doesn't he just make you smoke the whole pack until you throw up?
Douche
I don't know.
flutes. I've never heard that one. I like it a lot.
Every time I accidentally swipe up, there's an online fangirl selling jewelry. Anybody get it too? I don't know.
Well, Jason, I got a new hobby I'm kind of starting to get deep into. We're doing it.
Is it daily live streams?
Right now. Yeah, it is. It is totally daily live streams. And I love getting into hobbies because I love learning about new products that I can get and make better shit. Oh, it's like a whole new frontier of like learning. Spent all day watching YouTube videos about cameras today.
Oh, that's right. Did you look at the Canon?
Yeah, the Canon R50 is leading the pack of what I want right now. I think it's like $800 though, so it's on my drop list to wait for somewhere to go on sale.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
the Canon.
I know you're looking at the Sony, and in my life, I've found that the only Sony televisions are worth it. Every other Sony product I've ever bought, I was disappointed with. Their headphones have a buggy app. Their music players break all the time. Their mini disc recorder doesn't work so good. It's like every DVR I've ever bought, or a DVD player, or a Blu-ray player, or a VCR, if it was Sony, you think it's going to be quality, and then you get it, and then the menus are weird, or it's hard to navigate, or it doesn't work so good. Only their TVs seem to hold up, and I don't know why. And I know their cameras are legit, and I've been told many times like that's the one you want, but part of me is just like, ugh, how many more Sony products can I throw money at to find out I don't love it?
I had a Sony camera. I like a nice camera, but it was like 7 years ago when we bought it. So it's been gifted out, and I never got good at using it. And I didn't like the software, and I didn't like Wi-Fi syncing it. But that was 7 years ago. So I'm like, they've got to figure some of this shit out by now. But I was watching reviews, and they're just, I'm trying. For those of you who don't realize, I do live streams, and I'm trying to grow our YouTube presence. We have a YouTube account. It's for the Millie Club. It's got about 180 videos uploaded to it right now, and we want to improve on the quality of it and stuff. But I need to figure out how to do these like clickbaity titles on my videos. Like all the videos that I watch are like 5 reasons not to buy this camera. Watch before you buy. And I'm like, well, I gotta watch before I buy. All the videos I watched all day were like a bummer of like, let's talk about the cons. And like every camera I wanted to research just had a con, but the Canon's big con was that you have to use Canon lenses. And I'm like, that's beyond what I'm ever going to do. So that's why it's leading the pack right now. Is that the one you were looking at?
Yeah. And also, I happen to have an absurdly good Canon lens here from a DSLR that I had years ago. And it's a very expensive lens, and it would reverse compatibility. It would be there for the Canon. The problem is that I have a couple of friends that are professional photographers, and they'll tell you that the Nikons are better. Like the light balance and the optics are better. So then I was like, oh, maybe I should look at that. So look at that. And then now there's 3 brands that I'm tossing around. Ended up saying screw it and didn't ever revisit it.
But I watched a video that's like, figure out what you're doing with it. So I'm trying to be honest. Like, I'm going to literally probably set it where this camera is and use it as a webcam. Or I have an overhead rig I bought that's being delivered Monday, so I could take overhead Nick Shabazz style photography on my desk. I'm going to mount it on that. It will probably never leave my office. I'll probably never go outside and shoot with it other than taking self. I'm not going to go shoot pictures with it. I'm going to shoot video with it. So I'm trying to prioritize the video aspect of this because I know that's what I'm actually going to use it for.
Right.
Currently, I have a Fuji something 30 T30, and it's like, it's really cool looking. It looks like a camera from the 50s. It's really all stylistic, but I can't hook it up as a webcam. When I got it, I spent forever trying to hook it up, and it was like, oh, just not compatible.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a point where it looked like I was going to be doing a lot more online web stuff. I had a knife maker ask me to shoot some videos of his products, and I went down this rabbit hole looking to see what I should get. And really what it comes down to is you need very nice lighting and you need a very good camera. And then from there, you need a laptop that you can edit on, and then you can go and you can do all kinds of things. But if you don't have good light and you don't have a good camera, you're kind of screwed. But the light part is almost as important as the camera, because really good lighting will solve so many problems for you. And
how about this light?
Anyway, just never pulled the trigger.
How about this light? So this mounts to your desk, and it'll go on my little lip of my desk behind my monitor and just be facing straight down. Because right now my light's over here, and so there's always a shade on this side. So I have to have 2 lights, and it doesn't look as good as this one light will look. And this has got a remote control and temperatures and all that crap.
Yeah, those light panels are great.
Oh, Fukli.
Yeah, the scammers are hitting him hard. I don't know why. I think he's
I don't understand. So when someone has a scammer clone somebody's Facebook account, do they have to have like hacked into it, or do they just take the photos and make an account from scratch? You think
you just right click and steal everybody's pictures, and then you just create another account that looks like it. That's all.
Okay. Not very high tech.
Pretty simple.
It's weird.
Yep. Let's see. Any real decadent food this week?
I had some Nutty Buddies, some Swiss roll. I haven't been able to leave the house, so we were stuck here. I've been eating refried beans. Had a lot of refried bean burritos. Had a lot of ramen. We don't have it. I was excited today to get food, but my car is still not. I don't want to take it out yet. So
it's time to learn how to cook, dude. Time to learn how to cook. You are wired for it. You don't even know it.
I'd like to cook.
Uncle Jeff says it all the time. Like, you would be You would love to do it because you got the recipe and you have to be fastidious and you have to really like be detail oriented and there's knives involved. You get to cut shit. Like you'd be good at cooking.
I can cook. Like,
You're good at
you know, the
precision
things where
stuff.
you get the ingredients in the mail and you have to like Hello Fresh. We could plug that in our podcast right now. I used to do those all the time where they send me the ingredients. I grew to hate cooking because I'd read these recipes and I feel like I'm wasting time on parts that I don't care about, if that makes sense. Like the presentation part of it. Like I wasted like 20 minutes making this and I'm just gonna look at it. I'm not even gonna eat it. I don't know.
I find most recipes suck. They have you doing things that don't make sense, or they
Yeah.
have you doing like they'll say things like a quarter teaspoon of oil, and you're gonna pan fry 2 pounds of chicken in a quarter teaspoon of oil. Like go fuck yourself. That's not
Yeah.
enough. And then they'll have you make sauces the hard way, or they'll tell like my favorite is my wife has a recipe that she loves, and it's for this. It's a delicious soup that's rice. It's like a chicken noodle soup kind of soup, but it's rice based instead of noodles. And part of the recipe tells you to take 2 chicken breasts and you throw it into the pot and you have to cook it for 50 minutes. It doesn't take 50 minutes to cook a chicken breast. Like it's done in 13. And if you
Yeah.
fillet it first, it's done in 8. So when she makes the recipe, she's always like, I like it, but it takes 2 hours to cook it. And I'm like, would you please stop following the wording of the recipe? When the chicken's done, you can take it out and it's done. Like ultimately, the chicken breast is boiled in the soup, and then you take it out and you shred it with forks, and you throw the shredded chicken back into the
Yeah.
soup. Well, as soon as it's done, it's done. You can shred it and throw it back in.
Yeah.
So when I make the soup, somehow it's done in 30 minutes. When she makes it, it takes 2 hours because she does the 50-minute chicken breast bake part or boil part. And so that's the difference between interpreting the recipe and literally doing what the recipe says. I find most of the time you can't literally do what they say.
I used to get frustrated whenever I go to look for a recipe. There's obviously I'm looking for the easiest way out of the situation I'm in. I don't want any start chopping onions. I'm out. But it's getting to the blogs where they write the recipes, and I'm like the first time I ever cracked an egg, and then you read 3 paragraphs about their trip to Italy where one time they had spaghetti, and you keep
Right.
on reading and you keep on reading, and then they go, and this is how big the recipe is at the very end. That actually matters. But it's just too much work to find. I just need a good source. We actually got rid of all my cookbooks, but if I had one, I'd probably use it now.
Yep. So around here, my wife finds the recipes, and then I'm the one that does them. She'll find one and she'll go, "You make it first, and then I'll fix it."
Ah,
We have a tag team thing.
nice. You need to order Momofuku ramen. That doesn't sound cheap. Part of the reason I like ramen is it's like 25 cents a thing, but I'm sure that's really good because I like Momofuku. My wife orders things like very extravagant things sometimes to be sent here, like Milk Bar. That's the same company, I believe. Milk Bar cookies get sent here a lot.
It's 15 servings for $39. I think you can afford it.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I got you something I've been meaning to send you too before I forget about it.
You did? Oh man, look at
Yeah.
that. Look at those noodles.
I got you some of those Dots pretzels I was talking about. Now I gotta
I'm
find them.
eating this right now. Guys, I want to eat this right now. What'd you get me?
Dots pretzels.
I like pretzels.
I think someone might have snagged them and munched on them because they were over there.
For me, the king of instant noodles is Indomie Mi Gornig.
I do like going to the Asian supermarket and going up and down those aisles with. There's a plethora. For Christmas, the white elephant gift was a mug and a thing of ramen. So I saw a lot of random ramens were gifted to people, and they all seemed to know what they tasted like. And they said I wouldn't like them because they're too spicy.
I'm usually thrown off by how much fish products there are. And you're like, ew. Every part of the fish. Every part of the fish.
Do you know what Vietnam's #1 export is?
Nike.
Fish sauce. They like it. There's fish sauce all the time. It's good. It's tasty. It just doesn't have my favorite name, but it is good.
We had Mediterranean food for dinner. We had jais and lemon rice soup and Greek fries. And I ordered a jai for my daughter who doesn't like them normally unless they're just meat and pita. And so hers came with all the extra crap in it. Luckily for me, I hedged my bets, and on the drive home, I also stopped to pick her up a plain double cheeseburger from McDonald's. I mean, that's like her favorite thing. So when I got home and I unwrapped her jai, I found that it had everything in it. It had the tzatziki cucumber sauce, you know. So I just slid it right in the fridge. That'll be my lunch tomorrow. And then I gave her a cheeseburger, and she was happy as hell. So a little win-win.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm making myself. I mean, now I know exactly the food item I want, and it is for a gyro from Gyro House, which is 40 minutes away if there was no snow on the ground. And I'm almost ready to, like, if it was open right now, I'd head out and go get some. It sounds so good.
Don't you have a Subaru Forester sitting outside?
Kim has a Subaru Outback sitting outside, but it's not outside right now because she's not home.
Oh, well, she'll be home eventually, right?
She will be. She will be eventually. It'll be like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, though.
It's your key to freedom, my friend.
I know. Or just wait till it melts tomorrow and I can wait.
I think I want some of that noodle variety pack. It looked pretty delicious to me. Soy and scallion, spicy soy, and tingly chili. It's a taint pleaser. Yep, I think I'm going to be ordering some of these. We'll give them a try. That's just a good idea.
Noodles. Well, I think tonight, after we wrap this up, I got a couple of these to sharpen. I think that'll be our next video. So if you're watching FFIB and you want to watch me sharpen some stuff and hang out, post-show after party here in a little bit. We're going to be sharpening some 940s, taking some thumb studs off maybe if I have to even. Who knows?
Hey, Siri, play some house party music.
Okay, here's house for partying.
It's your after party.
There you go. Yeah, after party. Tom sharpening stuff. It'll be a party all night.
I got a couple knives to work on, and then I've got knives to pack up and ship, and I've got a guitar to work on, and I've got all kinds of stuff I can do. I got Vero knives I haven't looked at in a while. I should pull them all out and lie them in a row, and then like try not to cut myself and take some pictures, perhaps.
You need to get back. You've been so busy. You've been slacking in the content creation department. You can make some content.
I've got lots of good real audios that I've saved for a rainy day, but I don't have the videos to pair up with the audios. So I should probably record some videos.
Nice. Always enjoy your videos.
Yeah, Dan. I find that the Aussie voice or the New Zealand, I like the New Zealand voice, but even better than that, there's a South African voice. The South African's lovely.
You sound like Elon Musk.
No, sounds like Who's the actress from South Africa?
Scarlett Johansson.
Charlize Theron. Charlize
Okay.
Theron.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always get all those names mixed up. That's right.
Yep. Tom, can you fix the tip on a Hogue OTF?
It depends on what shape the blade is, but yeah,
Probably.
As long as it's not a double-edged dagger, I can't clamp.
I found the directions for you. All right. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Jason. That's Tom. We're FFIB. Hope you had a nice show. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Oh, we have some guests coming, by the way. We happen to have a hardware and scale maker that wants to come in and talk about some stuff going on in his shop. And then also we have a friend who is designing a top secret project that's very close to being done. And we invited him tonight, and he said, I'd like to wait until it's done. So we might be unveiling something for all y'all to see soon, and it's going to be exciting.
And we tried to get Triple B on the show, but he's busy getting ready for SHOT Show. So putting the feeler out there, trying to get Sean Houston on the show. He's a
Sean
busy
Houston
man.
will be coming back from SHOT Show with lots of updates on Spyderco specifically, but also other knives in general, and that'll be fun. So yeah, we got some Steve Ripplinger, some Sean Houston, and a player to be named later that will be coming to you live via satellite. So thanks for watching. Have a nice night. See ya.
Bye.